Gentlemen, welcome to my dream home and the final Alpha M home tour. All right, guys, so I am so incredibly excited to show you this house. I've been working on it with my wife and my team, which I'm gonna talk a little bit about in a second, for over 3.5 years. It was a long project. It was much longer than I thought it would be. It also was much more expensive than I anticipated and budgeted for. And so the process of building this house was very stressful, but I'm very happy, actually more than happy. I love how it turned out. So the one thing I just want to real quick talk and touch on before we actually go inside is the team that helped me and my wife basically create this dream house. All right, from the top, Linda MacArthur Architecture, amazing. Her attention to detail. When you actually go around this house and I show you some of the incredible detail with the brick and the molding and just all of the sexy kind of things that are a little bit different with this house that you probably haven't seen many times before is really something special. She had an incredible partner and team member, Laura Lisa, that helped her really execute our vision. But it wasn't just the architect, it wasn't just Linda. We also had an incredible kitchen, bath, and bar designer, Matthew Quinn from Design Galleria. I'm talking next level. We also hired an incredible interior designer and decorator, Kelly Anthony from Wolf Design Group. She was amazing. And then the builder, Ladisic Fine Homes, but the guy who really gets the credit in this whole thing is Joel Long, our project manager. He was what I consider the Alpha M whisperer. Every time I get wildly upset, he was there to solve problems and really just help us through this process. And I can't say enough amazing things about Joel. Joel, you're a rock star. And the other person I'd like to mention is Charlie Sears from Land Plus, our landscape architect. And that's one of the things that really just was so incredible with this project. It was the collaboration. It was everybody that we hired came together to really try to make this project in this house something special. And I feel like everybody knocked it out of the park. And for my wife and I, we feel that it's absolutely perfect for us. Every day we wake up and we're just thankful and just love this house. Like literally, it's in the perfect area, the perfect city, the perfect location, and now we have the perfect house. So I want to bring you inside now and kind of show you why we're so excited and why we think it's so sexy. So the house is shaped like a U. That was one of the things that my wife and myself really just have always loved. It's when you can basically have the house wrap around a courtyard or pool, which we're gonna talk about and show you in a second, which is honestly one of my favorite parts of this house. You enter the house and right away you're gonna notice that it is a bit tall, right? 12-foot ceilings. We really love the openness and the height of the ceiling, but the interesting thing about the space and really why I feel like it was done so well by our designers is that even though it's big rooms, tall ceilings, it still feels warm and kind of homey and cozy, and it's not just like big for being big. Anyway, you walk in, first thing is a foyer. The flooring is actually a Texas Fluters limestone. It's the same limestone that is on the front porch, also the pool deck. The whole idea was to have a nice seamless transition from the front all the way out to the back. I'm gonna show you the back and the pool in that area in a second. It's honestly one of my favorite parts of the house. But when you enter, the first thing you're gonna notice is this big chandelier. Now, real quick, I wanna mention something. If you are gonna be building a house or buying a house, the one area, or actually there are two areas that you really shouldn't skimp on. Number one is lighting. Lighting is kind of like the accessorizing for the house, right? We talk a lot about wearing a great watch or a cool ring or, accessories really make the difference. Well, lighting, decorative lighting is one of those things that makes a huge difference. And so this big, amazing chandelier was expensive, but I really feel like it makes a huge difference and just an impact statement when you're looking at the house from outside. It also complements these really cool brass and horsehair sconces. All right, this is actually horsehair. No horses were hurt. It's just kind of cool, a little bit different. My designer showed me and my wife fell in love. She's like, I need them. And then I looked at the price. I'm like, no, you don't. And she obviously won. Anyway, you come in past the foyer, you're gonna be in a nice little sitting room. The space is just kind of bright, open, and kind of cozy actually, with the big shag carpet, these nice velvety chairs. And the one thing you're really gonna notice, and the thing that I feel makes a huge difference when it comes to furniture, is texture. So you've got a lot of different textures. You've got the different fabrics on the sofas, on the pillows, with the rug, then you've got the drapery. It's just a very cool aesthetic, and it really makes a huge difference when you have the different textures. And then outside of this big giant 12-foot window is actually a water feature, a cool little fountain. And this was something that my landscape architect was like, hey, we could do this underneath the window from your foyer and basically have it come out into your pool. And so we thought, yo, if we can do it, why not give it a try? And it turned out amazing. It's really nice to be outside and just hear the little bubbling of the fountain, but it's just a special little area, and I absolutely love it. Now, once you come in, you're gonna look left, you're gonna look right. You've got my office, and then you also have the dining room. Should we go this way first? In our last house, we didn't do a formal dining room. And it was something that I honestly missed. I love getting the family or friends around a big table. And so I thought, you know what? This would allow us in this new house, because it is gonna be a little bit bigger, to actually have a formal dining room. We included a really sexy limestone cast fireplace, which you turn it on in the winter when it's cold, and it just adds a nice ambiance, and it's just kind of sexy and cool. The other thing that I really love about this room is that we basically did these cool curved walls. Just something special and different. And then we took this curve into the bar area, which I'm gonna show you in a second. But the whole reason why I love this room so much is that it's kind of masculine, it's sexy. The furniture, once again, lots of different textures, lots of different interesting things in this room. But it's just a nice place for everybody to gather, have the fire going, have the nice lighting. And once again, lighting is important. Do not skimp on the lighting. You leave the dining room and you enter the bar area. The bar area also opens up to the pool, which is convenient, but this bar, absolutely love it. You've got this really cool single round light. You've got the round table that looks like a cast concrete, and then the bar itself is actually curved, similar to the front of the room in the dining room. And so the cabinets are actually curved. I love these brass inlaid shelves that have the lighting. Just something different, right? It's all just a little bit different and sexy, and I love it. Something else I love is these jambs that we did on the doors coming out of the bar. All right, we used marble for the kitchen, which I'll show you in a second, the bar here, but then one of the issues was we didn't really have a plan for what to do in this doorway in the bar area. And so we thought, what would be cool and what would make it kind of just different? And so everybody kind of put their heads together and decided, you know what, we could actually wrap the casing in the marble. So now you're entering the heart of the home, as they say. This is where we hang out the most. You've got the kitchen, you've got the dining table, then you've also got the living room. And then I'm gonna show you the outside, the patio, which is so sick. Anyway, deal is, this kitchen is just, I keep saying like amazing and awesome. It's just so cool to watch really talented people create something special. And basically it was our designer and our kitchen guy, Matthew, that really worked together to create a very functional kitchen, but it's also spectacular and beautiful. Everything from the little detail on the island with the fluting that matches the fluting on the limestone surround, which I'll show you in a second. But this whole console, this wall with the microwave, the 2 ovens, the steam oven, And then through here, you can actually go to the dining room. So when we have a party, you don't have to walk all the way around. You can basically go from the kitchen through here. And then here, we've got some additional amazing cabinetry. We've got this beautiful waterfall edge of this soapstone. You've got the brass and the mesh on these cabinets, just different. And that's the thing, it's just different than anything else I really have seen. And then you've got the giant backsplash, which is marble. You've got the big hood, it's brass, stainless steel. You've got the wolf range. And then you've got the sink, lots of cabinets, lots of drawers, lots of things that you just don't even think about, right? Like, look at this, right? It's a spice rack, but then boom, that can go in here. You've got all your oils, your cooking stuff there, right? It's just things that you don't really think about every single day, or you don't get in a lot of houses. Back here is what is called the back kitchen or back pantry. And it's just a place that we can basically store more things. We've got another dishwasher back here, another sink. We also have another pantry that has all the things that I use, like my coffee maker and my protein shake making stuff. Over here is our freezer. We've got drawer freezer down here in the island. And then right here is the refrigerator. The refrigerator, everybody like walks in and is like, where's your refrigerator? It's here. It's got a mirror. It's got this brass mesh, and it's just big, cool, Sub-Zero fridge. This room is my favorite room of the house. It just turned out really well. It's not because I picked good stuff, it's because my designer and my architect and the team really did a great job, all right? So, thing you're gonna notice when you come into this room is, number one, we've got 14 feet in terms of ceiling height here. We bumped it up a little bit. And then this is really kind of a piece of art in and of itself. It's a cast limestone surround for the fireplace that has these like flutes in it, just beautiful. You know, floor to ceiling, it's very dramatic. Something else that we did that I absolutely love are these giant white oak paneling. Custom, so we had to build them kind of on site, but they really just add a richness and a warmth to this room and kind of make a big room feel cozy and small. The fireplace is always on, the TV is a frame, and the furniture in the room, it's comfortable, it's neutral, lots of texture, and it just is comfortable. We love this room so much. We're here every night hanging out. You've got the giant 14-foot window on the one side looking over the pool, and then this, what you're about to see, is special, in my opinion. All right, we've got these giant metal sliding doors out to the porch, but the cool thing is that they push all the way back into the wall, so we actually can open it up, and so you've got this incredible open space. You've got the living room, you've got the kitchen, and then you've got the patio. This patio is so sexy. Got 20-foot ceilings. We also took the color of the walls in the living room and basically kept it going and extending it into the tongue and groove cypress that is on the ceiling. We actually did stucco on the walls for this porch. And the reason was just to add a little bit of contrast, a little bit of something interesting and different. As you can see, all of the different lines, all of the curves, then the fireplace is really a showstopper. You've got this beautiful limestone, you've got the cast limestone surround, you've got the fireballs, you've got great furniture. I come out here every morning to work when it's nice out. Even when it's cold, I'll come out here, throw the fire on, hang out. We also have a TV. But my favorite part, I keep saying my favorite part, it's all my favorite part, and that's one of the beautiful things about this, is the backyard. And once again, it's sexy. Sexy, right? This is a pretty sexy backyard. It's exactly what we wanted. We did a pool. I've never had a pool. I wanted the U-shaped house so we could wrap everything around and basically access this area from anywhere on the main level. You've got the bedroom over there, which we'll go in a second. We've got the living room. We've got this great screen porch. We've got the water feature at the other end that's nicely and seamlessly emptying into the main pool. We've got a hot tub. This space, when you're back here, is just tranquil. You hear the running water from the water feature. You've got all this lush landscape around, and that's something else I just want to mention. Do not skimp on the landscape, all right? We talked about the lighting being important, but the landscape is also something that a lot of people neglect, or they wait until the end and they're out of money and they don't spend the money on the landscaping. Landscaping also makes the house look so much better, so much more inviting. Something else that's really cool I just want to show you, this courtyard really is highlighting how good of a job the architect did in terms of paying attention to the little details that makes the house unique and special. Everything from the curved brick, all right, by the doors to the inlaid soldier course brick. There's details everywhere, including the curve and the recessed windows upstairs, the bullnose brick underneath of the windows. All these things are classic, inspired, but just brought together with some modern touches and flares, which really, in my opinion, has made this house just so special. It's just a very comfortable, tranquil space that we absolutely love. Before we head to the other side of the house and the office and our bedroom and upstairs and downstairs, I just want to show you this little friend's entrance. Our garage is over here. Out that door is our grill, and then in here we've got a really cool black and white bathroom that I absolutely love. But now, let's go check out my office. Now, let's go into the other side of the house. First stop is my office. Right off the foyer, you come in, once again, the mood is kind of dark, kind of manly, definitely sexy. That was one of the things that I told my architect, Linda. I said, I want this house to be sexy. In terms of the style, it's basically a transitional style, which is characterized by a blend of modern elements with classic elements. So one of the things with my area, it's a little bit old school, lots of brick, lots of cool old buildings. You guys have all seen my office. Well, I wanted to have that kind of spirit, but with some modern flair and just some nice detail and elements. My office is pretty big. It's the same size as the dining room. My desk is huge and it's super heavy. I love it. Got a nice leather chair. Behind me is a fireplace. I haven't lit it yet, but same mantle as the dining room. And behind me is the moose. That moose is special. So is the buffalo. We've had these pieces now for a while, and they're sentimental and they're nice because they complement each other. When you walk in, you look to the left, you look to the right, you see the moose and the buffalo. The curved wall is also in my office to match the dining room. And then this right here, a secret door. Check this out. It's where I can store all of my stuff, computers, cat loungers, and it's a way to get the kind of the printer and everything out of this main room. And so this was just kind of a nice, cool little detail. But yeah, my office is amazing. I absolutely love it. Something that I'm very proud of, I'd like to show you over here, is this bad boy. This is my award from Shopify. You guys know Pete and Pedro. This was my 1 million order award from Shopify, something that's very hard to believe, but it's also very special. Because it's an office, we decided to do pocket doors. So if I ever had a meeting, I could actually close the doors and be isolated, or if I'm on a phone call and I'm being loud. And so that's just something kind of cool. Both doors closed. And then across from my office, we have a powder room with a motion sensor to turn the lights on, because we ended up having to flip the door around and the light switch had to move. Anyway, problem number 737. All right, so here's the deal. This is incredible. It's a giant marble stone. It's actually not marble. I don't know what type of stone, but it's a stone sink. It's floating. I really love the brass fixtures and faucets. And then the pendants, they match the foyer chandelier, and then the covering on the wall is just something to give it a little bit of personality and make it a little bit different. Now, over here, one of the dramatic statements that this house makes is the stairwell. It's glass, basically, windows from floor, the basement, all the way up to the second floor. And the stairwell is floating, which means it's away from the wall. The engineering on doing things like this is incredible. There's a lot of structural steel that is in this house to make sure that the angles and all the things that we wanted to do were able to happen. And so watching them actually install this and build this was pretty epic. But the cool thing is that you can look right down and see the basement, which at first, when I was just moving in, I was like, a little bit weird because I'm kind of scared of heights, but it's cool now, I'm good. Over here, one of my favorite pieces of art, the donkey. All right, you know, donkeys are kind of my thing. I also love other animals. Now, we're gonna head to the bedroom. Now, gentlemen, join me in the bedroom, all right? Boom, the doors, check this out. This is a cool feature that you might wanna do if you build your house. The doors actually tuck into the wall and kind of disappear, which is pretty awesome as opposed to having a door. Something else that's awesome is rusty. Love this painting, just super cool. I love sheep. So yeah, it's a sheep. Anyway, and this is a bedroom, an amazing bedroom. It's peaceful, it's tranquil. One of the things that I really love about Kelly and her design team is that all of the colors are very neutral, very soft, very relaxing. And that's something that I didn't realize I was gonna love as much as I do. But the bed, incredible. The bench, kind of fuzzy. Once again, it's about that texture. It's a nice neutral space. And it's also just a great place to come and relax. Something else that I love is being able to look out over the pool. Once again, it's about that courtyard. Being able to open the doors and just walk out to the pool, or in the morning, you know, just go outside just because I can, because it's awesome. Closets? You like closets? Well, here's the deal. My wife's closet is bigger than a lot of apartments in New York City. It is huge. It's got tons of storage space. She loves it. Lots of mirrors, and then a really beautiful marble top on the island, which is just kind of, it's just that extra, right? My closet, on the other hand, is a little less extra, but it's a little bit more masculine. We went with the dark theme here. I also got to pick the countertop, which is this really cool black stone with this like incredible like movement. It was leathered, so it's a little bit more matte. I've got leather on the front of my little dresser there. Oh man, a little bit sexy, but it is little. Most of my clothing is actually at my office. This is just what I wear on a daily basis. But here is where the magic happens. If you're gonna build your dream house, you're gonna build your dream bathroom. And I did. This bathroom, once again, 12-foot ceilings, which really makes it a little bit more challenging when it comes to designing the bathroom. And so the one thing you're gonna notice is this giant shower, all right? I love it. This thing is super cool. It also matches this black iron. It matches the look and the feel of like the windows of the house. This is actually made out of aluminum though, so it doesn't rust. We've got two different shower heads. I personally hate rain shower heads. Everybody was trying to get me to do like a rain shower head, those ones that like are in the ceiling, that I hate them. I always feel like I'm drowning, so we didn't do that. But the shower is super cool, very comfortable, big enough for a party. Also have a cool tub. I've never used that, probably never will use that, but we got a tub and it's kind of sexy. And then the countertop, the cabinets, absolutely love it. We went with black, went with something a little bit more dark and kind of masculine, but still high-end and sexy. But the best part of this bathroom is this bad boy, my urinal. They asked me, they said, Aaron, you want a urinal? I'm like, wait, that's an option? They're like, yeah. This has been one of my favorite parts of this house, is this urinal. Just being able to walk up to it, let the tiger out of the jungle, and take a leak. It literally is amazing. I don't have to worry about putting a toilet seat down. I don't have to worry about anything like dripping on the floor. I'm just there. I walk up, boom, check it out. Yeah, exactly. Gentlemen, you need a urinal. If you don't have one, you need one. Now, let's go upstairs. So upstairs in the house, we've got 3 bedrooms. This is the first bedroom, the guest suite. It also has a pretty badass bathroom. Every bedroom has a great bathroom. This bedroom I absolutely love. I also love my little brown chair. You guys might remember that from my last home tour. I kept it because it's old, it's rustic, and it's still pretty awesome. Second bedroom over here, nice, relaxing, tranquil. But over here, this is cool. This upstairs space is one of the things that surprises people so much when they come and get a tour. It's not expected. It's 13-foot ceilings. We vaulted the ceiling, we covered the walls with a nice wall treatment, and then it's a comfortable sort of area for a guest who's staying with us to come and just kind of hang out. We've got seating that's very textured, we've got a great table, we've got ottoman. It's just a nice, cozy room. that's just unexpected, but really cool. Something else that's cool is my wife's office. My wife's office is one of my favorite rooms in the house. I'm not wild about the pink, but whatever. She likes it, so she gets it. The chairs, they're fun. Their fabric is all like a sheep. It's cool. This, you might remember from my old house. It was upstairs. We loved it and wanted to use it again. The other art on the other wall is also from our old house. Art is one of those things that you buy it once and you enjoy it for a lifetime. This little built-in bookshelf was a great use of space, and it's just kind of cool. And then this really beautiful, cool dresser that has storage space for her to do whatever. She's got some puzzles, she's got some crafts. I just love this room. I love how this room sort of opens up into the sitting area, and then it opens up into Antonio's bedroom. Come with me. So this is the biggest bedroom in the house. It's huge. It has our old furniture from our last house, but it's a huge room. The ceiling height is like 12 feet. It's just massive, but it's awesome. I love this room so much. When I can't sleep or I want to go and watch TV, when my wife's like, no, you can't lay here and watch TV, I will come up here and sleep, but it's also primarily designated for our guests. More specifically, Mr. Antonio Centeno. This is known as the Centeno Suite. Whenever Antonio comes down to Atlanta, he stays here, and it's just a great, comfortable room. The bathroom is also cool, classy, sophisticated. One of the things I failed to mention upstairs is the walls in the stairwell and the hallway are made out of what is called shiplap. Typically, shiplap is laid horizontally, but in order to really kind of accentuate the height of the stairwell, we actually went with the shiplap vertical, and I thought it turned out really well. Something else that turned out amazing is this floor. This is one of my favorite features of this house. It's a polished concrete floor. There was no treatment done. It was basically just ground down and then polished. It's literally indestructible. It's very unique. You can see some of the stones poking through, but it almost looks like crocodile scales or something. And once again, no two are alike, and it's just something that makes it, I don't know, just a little bit rugged, a little bit just industrial looking. The spiral ductwork also was something that we decided to do. We didn't want to hide it. It was cool, it was industrial, and the basement is a little bit more industrial feeling. And then my gym. Spent the money getting this really sexy door made for the gym. One of the things that I was really excited about with building this new house was being able to build my dream gym. And I did. I have never, in my wildest dreams, ever thought that I would have this in my house. In my old house, one of the things that I loved was having a room that was designated to working out. It only had a little bit of equipment, but it got me through COVID, and it was amazing to have. But with this house, I decided I was gonna make it as big as possible. And so as you can see, it's pretty huge. It's around 1,400 square feet. It's a big room. We went with the rubber on the floor, and then I basically built my dream gym. I now have a squat rack, a leg press, I've got cables, I've got preset barbells and dumbbells, I've got an incredible treadmill, I've got leg extension, hamstring curl, dip machine, I've also got pull-up bar, and then this bad boy, oh yeah, the beast, the Stairmaster. Every single day I'm on this thing. And then the other thing that I did, because I had this closet, was put a sauna. And this was just cool. I love saunas. I don't necessarily love sitting in a sauna with a bunch of other dudes that are like cutting their toenails and like doing weird things in a gym. And so I decided, you know what? I'm gonna buy one and I'm gonna have it in my home. It's a real sauna, it's not infrared, it's amazing. About 4 times a week, I'm in there for about 20 minutes, temp around like 180. This thing gets up to like 200. It's amazing. Something else that's amazing is my media room. So this room doesn't get used as much as it should. It's so sexy, it's masculine, it's comfortable, the furniture is amazing, but we haven't gotten down here all that much. And by not that much, we've literally been here almost a year. One time, we watched the Martha Stewart documentary down here just because we're like, we gotta go use that room. But it's a bar, it's a relaxing lounge, there's a great TV. There's also kind of a wine sort of room or cellar on the other side. And then the wall covering in here is so cool. My designer was really good about picking things that she knew that we would like or that would resonate with us. And she was like, this wall covering is kind of like a man's suit. It's a gray and white herringbone. It just adds, once again, a lot of texture and character to the room. And then this bar, I absolutely love. It's a lacquered gray cabinet with this beautiful stone on top. It's got this cool brass sink, little sitting area for hanging out, maybe put a drink, a cocktail. And then the real showstopper is this giant arched window and door. So this curved door and wall is honestly one of my favorite features of the house. It looks so sick. The downside is that nobody sees it. Literally, nobody sees this because it's in the back of the house in the basement. We're planning on changing that a little bit. We are gonna be doing more landscaping out back, doing like a fire pit, some more like tables, some bistro lights, just to make it a little bit more inviting and just to have a cool outdoor space that we can grill or have a fire and just have people gather and just enjoy the bar down here, this space, and this amazing door. And that's it, gentlemen. Thank you so much for coming with me on the final house tour. Or is it?